Hello friends, today I'm going to show an example of cascading dropdowns using Jquery AJAX in .NET Core. Okay, so this is one of the examples that we had done previously, which had the normal, what you say, the view model wherein we try to get all the details from the table and show them in using view models in one view. But right now we have it as cascading dropdown. Previously, it was not a cascading dropdown. It was just binding the data from the table and showing it in three different dropdowns using a view model. Right now, I have changed that same example to fetch records using jQuery AJAX. Okay, so let me show you a simple a sample program what we did here and what's the output. Okay. So I just ran this one and it's coming up. Let's wait for it. All right, so it did came up. And you see we click on the display data, and that's, yeah, so previously we had these things linked with the remaining two drop downs, and it used to fetch the data using the view model. Right now it's modified to fetch data using jQuery AJAX. So for example, if I'm selecting Asia, and it's going to, yeah, it changed the text for the second drop down, and it asks me for what country did you want to see that. So if I'm selecting in India, and it's giving me all the states from India. So if I select this as America, that's going to show me two different countries, South America and North America. So if I select North America, that's going to show me two different states from North America. Okay. So this is the cascading dropdown. Now you saw this thing, and um, if we look at the program, what we did here, so I'll just raise the font size from here. That gives you a good view of what things we did. Okay, so this example was previously used, so I just commented out all these for each loops that we had here that were trying to fetch the data from the view model that we had. So my view model was this one, all table. And initially what I was doing, I was trying to fetch the data through using this list variables from the table. If you want to have a look at my table, so this is my table. So I'll just change these things to TBL territory, the second one to TBL country. So, oops, these are the countries. And if you want to have a look at the states that I have, so these are the states. Now this is what it was trying to fetch using the view model, and right now we are also using the same thing to fetch the data using the cascading dropdowns. Let's move ahead to the program and see what we did here. So I have this controller which says the home controller. Country controller is not used. I use this as an example, but now I'm using this the home controller. So I have two methods, one for displaying the data for the territory, and remaining two methods are for fetching the data for the country and the state. So if you're new to this program, let me tell you that we launched a web API model view controller, and then we selected .NET 6 without an identity, and this came up. It was a blank project, and as it was an MVC, so we had this models and we had the controllers that were empty, and one view which had home. So I changed that and added a country controller, but that was of no use. So I changed this home controller and added the action methods that were required, and I created the views from it. So if you want to have a look at the view, mine is view display data. So this is the view that I have, and I'm using jQuery default library, which is created when you create a project in .NET 6, and it creates the libraries by itself, and you can see that these things are default things. Okay, the jQuery.jx, this is default things that it fetched. So I didn't need to add any more CDN, so it fetched all by its own. And then if you want to have a look at what are the NuGet packages that I require for uh, building an application like this. So these are the list of NuGet packages that you want to have in order to run your program. And this is using a DB context. So this is using LinkU. So application DB context um, is my data context class. So here you can see that this is the DB context that I have in order to match the tables with the database. And if you want to have a look at the dependency injection, I only have it for the connection string in my program.cs. So this is the application DB context connection string here. So yeah, pretty much yeah, that was about this one, about the files in this application. Now let's go ahead to the logic what we used here. So remember this, try to keep your code clean. And how do we do that? If you are using a jQuery, try to maintain everything inside one script block. Okay, so here you can see that I'm using a script slash script and everything is in one piece. Okay, no need to create multiple script tags. That's going to make a lot of hassle, and that makes a clumsy program which nobody would like it. Okay, so for example, if you're working in an office and people leave the work, and when people leave their job, people leave the project, so new people come in and they will find it difficult to understand what a program is. So keeping that thing in mind, you should always create your project which is very easy to understand by anyone. Okay, so if even if you leave that project, someone comes in and takes it over, they will understand what is there in the application and what things are, how things are flowing in the application. So here I have created everything inside a document.ready. That is really important in case if you are using a jQuery AJAX. Okay, and you can see that I have two methods. One is get cntr, which you can pretty much understand that it's trying to get a post request to the home slash get country method, and it's sending the parameter as territory, which is related to the variable which is fetched using the dropdowns value, and it's trying to bind that value to the options. Similarly, we're also using the same kind of thing in case of fetching the states, and it's also doing the same thing. It's trying to bind those values, clearing up the values in the beginning so that it doesn't have any garbage, and then it appends that data to the options. Okay, so I'm going to put this code in my GitHub and share that with the link, so you will find it easy and you can walk around on that one, make changes and play around with it to understand a little better about it. You already have seen the output, so I don't want to go through those things once again. So it's pretty much all right. Okay, guys, so that was all about this video. I hope this will find you well and it's useful for you. Let's hope for more, and I will have videos coming in and share those links with you, codes with you. Until then, stay tuned, stay connected, and happy coding. Thank you.